I know the most efficient way to provide people with the goods and services that they need is by taking a huge chunk of what they earn and giving it to government bureaucrats. And that's why I support taxation. Taxation is not only the most efficient way we can get the things we want, it's the only way that we can get the things we want. Without government bureaucrats taking a huge chunk of what you earn, how do you expect to get the things that you need? There is no conceivable way to put out a fire without first the government taking a huge chunk of what you earn. Therefore, if you are one of those radical extremists that oppose taking someone's property against their will, then you are advocating that houses burn down, and you want criminals to roam the street, and you want children to go uneducated. And if this is you, then you're wasting your time advocating for such ridiculous policies. Advocating that you be taxed is social validation that I'm a generous person. There is no other way to verify that I'm a compassionate person that deeply cares about the well-being of the poor. I can't imagine a way without taxation to take our vehicles from point A to point B. And because I can't imagine another way, that means there is no other way. Imagine if there was a system in place in which people could serve themselves by serving others. Then we wouldn't need taxation. But that is not the fantasy world that we live in. What excites me even more than paying the tax itself is the enormous government overhead that we have the opportunity to pay along with it. You see, this adds even more value to the service that we get because we pay more for the service than what it actually costs. Generosity and altruism are traits that can only be found in politicians. You see, if we could just assume that everyone would be trustworthy and generous with what they earn, then we wouldn't need taxation. So I think it's important that we recognize that these innate qualities can only be found in politicians. Surely there can be no superior alternative to entrusting our money with government bureaucrats because they pay no price for being wrong. In the private sector, when somebody misallocates your resources, they take a huge hit in profit. You see, the government bureaucrats have your best interest at heart, and they're being altruistic in what they do. But private companies are just looking to suit their own self-interests. Politicians are the true purveyors of wisdom within our society. They're sort of like the wise elders of our nation. And it's for these economic gurus that I'm willing to give up a third of my income for. Where did I receive my education? I spent 13 years in public school, but that has nothing to do with what I believe.